What is up, everybody? It is Jay here, and today I am going to be low-key updating you on my life. This time, about a year and a month ago, I made a video entitled Transition Update, and it's the oldest video on this channel. And because of that, I felt like I should maybe make another one of a similar type now, because I feel like it would be nice for me to be able to look back and be like, okay, here's where I was when I started this channel, and this is what I was like a year later, and this is what I was like a year later, and basically as an ability to as a way of kind of being able to compare myself as the years go on. You know the way. Where do I begin? That video that I posted, the first video on this channel, left me at a point where I'd gotten a diagnosis of gender dysphoria. I got one, and I needed to get another one, and I was intending to start hormones at some point in the forthcoming months. What ended up happening after that was that I got an appointment with the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services at like halfway through September. I went to an appointment with them. I met with this woman. She was like, yeah, you're mentally healthy, it's fine. And she referred me to one of her colleagues, and then this was like the very, very start of October. I had an appointment with one of her colleagues, and he gave me a second opinion diagnosis. So I had 2 sheets of paper from 2 separate people saying that I was trans and that they recommended me for testosterone treatment. Let me think. One of those guys, the guy from CAMS, was obviously public healthcare from the public system, and the reason why I got an appointment with him, as well as the guy that I saw privately, that I had already gotten my diagnosis from at the time of putting up the original video, was because sometimes the endocrinologists in Ireland that are on the public healthcare system can decline you if your diagnosis only comes from private healthcare professionals. That's part of why I got my second opinion from a HSC doctor rather than getting another private one, because I didn't want to run the risk of being denied. So I got on T. I started T on the 17th of October, 2015. For a month I did Testagel every 3 days. Then for a month I did Testagel every 2 days. Then for a month for 2 months I did it every day. And then I swapped onto Sustanon, which is what I'm on now. That's a shot every 4 weeks. So I had to go back, obviously. And like, bear in mind that at this point in time I was about 16 and 4 months old. And 16, not even 16 and a half, put that out there. And the guy was like, so do you want a referral letter for top surgery? You can't get top surgery when you're under 18. Yet this guy was like, you're 16 and a half, I'll write you a letter anyway. But whatever. It was partly because the waiting list for the Irish top surgeon is a fucking mile long, and you would be waiting that long. So but I'm not going to get top surgery with her, but that's for later on in the video. Basically, yes, here I am now. I am like almost 9 months on T. Like, I'm like a week away from being 9 months on T. My dog is barking. What a dick. When I go back, I am going back to the endocrinologist at some point next month. I have an appointment with him because you have to go back every like 6-ish months just to make sure that like you're not dying, basically. I want to talk to him about my dose of tea. For those of you who don't know, compounding pharmacies aren't really a thing in Ireland. As in, all of the medication that you buy in a pharmacy in Ireland is basically all prepackaged. And so everything comes in standard doses. It's not tailored specifically to you. As a result, that means that everyone who takes Sustanon every 4 weeks is on the exact same dose, which obviously presents its issues due to the fact that obviously I would have had pre-existing testosterone levels before I started T that would have been different to other people. some people react better to Testagel than others because it's absorbed through the skin. And some people just have more absorbent skin than others, apparently. I love Google telling me all these things. Same with Testagel. Like, reading the leaflet was so interesting. I love how all the medications say possible side effect death. I love that. But as a result, everybody takes standard doses of hormones in Ireland. And for me, I feel that may be presenting a problem. Because I see people who are the same period of time, like as far along on tea as I am. On tea for as long as I am, that's the language I'm looking for. Who have been on tea for as long as I have and look a lot more masculine. Like their pre-tea photos, like they look super feminine, and then at this far along they have like more changes. Same goes for like other people that I know in real life. Like I think a lot of people that I know, it's a very look of the draw kind of thing, depending on what your testosterone levels already were before you started tea. I think some people that I know, the standard dose suits them really well, and they've become a lot more masculine a lot quicker. And then like other people, the standard dose doesn't suit them nearly as well, and they haven't become as masculine as quickly. And I feel like I fall into that category. So when I go back, I'm going to try and start a conversation with my doctor about my dose and the fact that I feel like it might be a bit low. Because like I definitely feel like there are certain changes of tea that I haven't seen as much as I would have expected to. Like I've definitely noticed changes, but I definitely feel like there's a lot of stuff that I haven't seen as much as I was expecting, particularly anything in regards to growth of anything. Like I have seen, there's one guy that I follow on Tumblr, bless his soul, but I keep seeing a picture of him. This same picture of him comes up on my dash a lot, don't know why, but like he got a proper mustache at 3 months on tea. I am almost 9 months on tea. Can you see this? No, you fucking can't. You can probably see a slight amount of shadow on my upper lip because I do have hair there, but it is nowhere near as impressive. And this is a bit of a recurring theme. I have friends who are like, oh yeah, once I was 6 months on tea, I needed to shave like every few days. Like I was properly growing facial hair. Here my 9 months on tea ass is like, I shaved this morning because I like to shave every once in a while just to see how much growth I am actually getting when it comes to facial hair. But like, it wasn't like you could see anything. I just shaved for the fun of it, effectively. And like, even body hair. Can you see my body hair? Can you? I can see it in real life, but can you see it? Probably not. If I dragged my dad in here and showed you his arm, you'd definitely see it, you know? It's just that, like, a lot of the effects of tea that I feel that I have seen have been less so than they should be, and there are some that I feel like I really haven't seen, and I'm not gonna lie, that does bother me. But like, it's just I feel like it's hard to talk to my endocrinologist because he is a very stubborn being as well, but that's an aside. Now, moving on from the testosterone, I've spent an entire 9 minutes of this video talking about testosterone. There is 1, 2, 3 other things that I want to talk about before this video ends. What's this funky ass stain on my shirt? What's up with that? Did I get like fucking Vicks on this or some shit? Ugh, who cares? Moving on. I'm currently looking into like top surgery research because I know what period of time I want to have top surgery in, and it's a kind of small window of time for me to be taking for top surgery. I have like a month basically that I can have top surgery in, and I feel like it's good for me to be researching in advance because that way I can make sure that I get top surgery in that period of time. Currently, I have no intentions of going to the United States. As much as it would be amazing to be able to go to Dr. Garamoni in Florida, I don't really think that that's going to be an option for me. It's a lot of distance to travel. It's a lot more money. It's if something were to go wrong, I would be a lot further from my doctor. And basically, like, it just isn't really a realistic option for me, at least from where I'm seeing it now. So I've been trying to research surgeons in Europe, but it's very hard to do that because a lot of the surgeons that are outside of the UK, the information that they have available online, if any, is in their native language, and Google Translate sucks. So while I do know quite a few people who are going to Dr. Lembas in Poland, none of those people are like similar in body type to me, which I would like to be able to see results from a surgeon of people similar in body type and like size and weight to me, but I kind of haven't seen that because like just so happens that none of my friends are really my size and shape. Whereas I've looked at like Andrew Yelland from the UK's results, and like I've definitely seen people who are like a similar build and like weight to me, and that like he could be a good option. What was the thing I was going to do next? But yeah, it's kind of hard to research surgeons in the Europe. It's hard to research surgeons in Europe because a lot of the info isn't in English. Then I also got my gender marker changed since I published that video. At the time that I put up that video, my belief was that once I got on T, I would be able to change my gender marker on my passport, which is what was the pressing issue for me. As it turned out, because I brought in new gender recognition law, I wasn't able to do that the minute I started on T. Instead, I had to get my gender legally recognised. I had to get a gender recognition certificate in order to be able to change my passport and my birth cert. But that proved to be not as hard as I thought it would be. But it still took a decent amount of time. But now I do have a new birth cert and a new passport, and all my documentation now says my real name being Jason Kieran surname, and my gender as male, which is great. And I'm glad that's over. I'm so glad that's done. The last point is that since then I've gotten involved in a lot of activism over the last year because I had like a very relaxed year in school. So I spent more time doing like activism stuff. I was on the radio. I was on a panel of was on the radio because they were talking about the thing that I was on a panel for, which was the Trans Youth Forum, which was like this, it was like an in-person survey forum thing where like they got trans people under the age of 25 to talk about their lives, and I was the under 18s rep because I was like the youngest person they could find. What else? I also went to Italy. I went to the Transgender European Council, which is hosted by TGEU like once every 2 years. And yeah, I did a lot. It was cool. Here's to next year. It feels kind of weird to think that that video was only last year though, because I look so much younger than a year younger in that video, because I just look a lot younger because pre-T, you know the way. And I sound a lot younger, so I look like I'm 12, but I'm actually 15. So, like, I'm so glad I look 16. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button down here, subscribe button over here, and the comment box is down in the middle below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.